Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
Life in the British royals is an intriguing one. Behind the veil of secrecy and privacy are some league secrets to explore creepy details about the palace. Sit back and catch the details of these 15 creepy facts about the royal family. Number 1. Prince Harry isn't entitled to wear military uniform to the Queen's funeral. You'll notice some salient details if you watch the events leading to Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. You can tell Prince Harry is wearing a suit instead of military regalia, as you may expect. However, his uncle Prince Andrew, his father King Charles III, and his brother Prince William could wear their military outfit. Initially, Harry wasn't permitted to wear it to the vigil, but was later allowed. He was permitted to stand at the Queen's coffin for 15 minutes alongside William and his cousins. William and Harry also processed behind the coffin of their late mother, Princess Diana, in 1997 during her funeral. Number 2. The real reason Prince Philip didn't live with the Queen. Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth met as kids and grew up loving each other. The Queen fell in love with him as a teenager, and they got married in 1947. The couple became the longest royal married couple in British history. Despite the love between the couple, the prince moved out of Buckingham Palace and lived in a farm manager's cottage called Wood Farm. He stopped living with the Queen after retirement. It was only in 2020 that he moved back to the palace because of the coronavirus pandemic. Rumors say this was the Queen's idea, as the prince was happier living alone. He deliberately wanted to be far away from the happenings in the palace, as the Duke didn't like how it was run. Living outside the palace didn't mean he didn't enjoy royal privileges. He had tons of staff at his beck and call. Number 3. My mother, Princess Diana, killed because she loved a non-white person. While you might have another narrative justifying Princess Diana's death, Prince Harry believes his mother was killed because she was having an affair with an Egyptian man. The palace wasn't comfortable with the relationship as it dented the royal family's image. However, official reports say the princess died in a car crash with her Egyptian boyfriend, who she had been dating for a few months. An inquiry into the death said her driver, Henry Paul, was 3 times drunk and was negligent by exceeding the driving limit and crashing the car. The report said the lovers would have survived if they were wearing their seatbelts. This revelation didn't convince Prince Harry, as he thinks they were chased to death. He followed his mother's footsteps by marrying Meghan, a woman of color. If she ends up the same way, we can conclude that his claims have an iota of truth. Number 4. Camilla wearing white at Princess Diana's wedding. Princess Diana married King Charles on July 29, 1981. She had 2,500 guests at the event. As she walked down the aisle, her eyes scanned the halls searching for one person, Camilla Parker Bowles, her husband's former girlfriend. Eventually, she spotted her clad in white and standing beside her son. The princess developed animosity for her husband's ex even after the wedding. Given her hate for Camilla, one wonders why she attended the wedding. Fortunately, she was forced to put up with Camilla's presence because her husband played a significant role in the wedding procession. King Charles still loved her, but couldn't marry her because the palace disapproved of the relationship. Diana was heartbroken after someone told her the details of their relationship, saying they were still seeing each other. Number 5. Inside Prince Andrew's alleged secret visits to Queen Elizabeth. Prince Andrew, the second son of Queen Elizabeth II, Urchin Garuft had accused her of raping her when she was 17. The embattled prince was stripped of his military uniform and humiliated by the Queen, who was embarrassed by the accusation. However, a secret report says he had made several visits to the palace to appeal the Queen about the issue and probably begged that his titles be reinstated. He settled out of court with his accuser, and the fee boiled into several $millions. It was believed that the Queen was supposed to help foot the settlement fee. When asked how much was paid, Palace declined comments, saying the issue was between the prince and his legal team. Andrew's lawyer initially claimed that Ms. Garuft's allegations were aimed at profiting from the royal family. Number 6. A former king of Britain pays a visit to World War II Germany. Edward, the Duke of Windsor, visited World War II Germany in October 1937. He had renounced the British throne, and his brother, George VI, became king. He was sympathetic to Germany during this period and announced that he would visit the country to tour factories. He was particularly interested in the social and economic conditions of the working class amid the looming war in Europe. His supporters believed the visit was to broker peace between Britain and Germany, but the British government didn't approve of the alliance. However, the Duke and the Duchess went ahead with their tour and were welcomed by German troops. They dined with high-ranking members of the Reich and had long conversations with Hitler. However, the details of the conversation weren't revealed. After the visit, the British government forbade any interaction with the Windsors as they were regarded as traitors. Number 7. Film shows Queen Elizabeth giving Reich salute as a child. The palace is secretive in all her dealings, but despite this fact, discreet information manages to get to the press. After a clip shot in 1933 showing the Queen, her mother and younger sister raising a Reich salute was released. An internal investigation was launched. The palace was curious to know the insider that leaked the tape. The family was dancing outside their home and seemed excited about the salute. Whether it was a mistake or deliberately, everyone is curious to know the intentions behind the release. The Sun newspaper, the publisher of the footage, said it published it with the public interest in mind. Another source said the palace may have deliberately released the video to documentary makers. A section of the press said the clip reveals that King Edward was sympathetic to the Reich from way back when. Number 8. The former British king and the Reich's Edward VIII, the traitor king. In 1945, German allies made a shocking discovery. They found German files buried deep in the forest. Two things surprised them the most. First, the documents sought to have been disposed of after the war. Secondly, it contained details of King Edward VIII's dealings with the Reich. The details were implicating by all indications. Edward wanted to become a member of the Reich, installed leader, but the odds were against him. He loved the Reich and the ideologies it preached. He preferred renouncing the throne and marrying Wanda Simpson, the love of his life. He had a hard time blending in with royalty. He mixed with ordinary men and women and believed the British had no business going to war with Germany. This belief made him form a secret alliance with Hitler in the 1930s. Number 9. Did Britain's former king aid the Reich with the invasion of France? Again, King Edward successfully makes it to this entry for another shade of controversy. He's the shortest-serving king in England in over 500 years. After his insistence on marrying Wallis, a two-time divorcee, he was forced to resign. News later filtered in that there was more to the abdication.
King and Emperor.
It was rumored that he resigned due to his connection with the Reich government. Lur also revealed that he was shocked about the news because he had depended so much on the king for reforms. Despite his country being at war with Germany, many believe his loyalty lay with his enemies rather than his country. He was accused of aiding Germany in invading France because the defeat of France came weeks after the delivery of his secret report. Many historians believe he wasn't a patriot. Number 10. Royal family last name. What is royal family's surname? The royal family is rarely addressed by their surnames, leading everyone to ask if they have one. Before 1917, the family bore only their first name because there was no last name. That year, King George V, Queen Elizabeth II's father, adopted an official surname. The name was officially called Windsor. However, the Queen made a slight modification after she became a monarch. The kings used to sign official documents with their first names. Number 11. Why the Queen's funeral may be the last we see of Prince Andrew. Queen Elizabeth was buried on September 19, 2022. As the royal family rallied around to ensure she got a befitting burial according to tradition, the public wished that one person didn't appear in public. Prince Andrew became a controversial figure after he was accused of rape. Reports say the Queen's funeral was probably the last time Prince Andrew would make a public appearance. If there was any internal issue that stressed the Queen so much, it was Andrew. While he may be at other gatherings, this might be his last time with the family until further notice. It's wise that King Charles cooperate with only trusted family members to avoid negative attention from the press. Number 12. Why people are talking about Princess Anne's son, Peter Phillips. The public's followed the royal family closely since the death of Queen Elizabeth II. From the death to her procession and the involvement of every family member, the press has been on their toes to fish out juicy details. The story of Peter Phillips, Princess Anne's son, is top on the list. Everyone expected William and Harry to walk side by side, but no one imagined that Peter Phillips would be walking with the brothers. Phillips is the Queen's eldest grandchild. His appearance generated reactions from the public. While some were excited about his participation, others said his presence would help fix the rivalry between the royal brothers. Number 13. Here's why Meghan always has to hold Harry's hand. It's not traditional for the royal family to display affection publicly even with a spouse. However, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been publicly holding hands. Experts say this posture isn't normal but explains why this happened, especially during the Queen's funeral rites. The couple believed to be devastated by the death and felt that holding hands would make them feel better. They were the only royal couple holding hands during the event. Holding hands is also a sign of intimacy, connection, and security. The Dutch and Duchess provided these for themselves. Number 14. Queen sports a bloodshot eye at polo match. The Queen's Cup Final is one of the world's top 5 polo events. It's attended by dignitaries across the country and the monarch. Despite having a bloodshot eye, Queen Elizabeth didn't postpone the tournament held in Windsor 10 years ago. She was visibly excited and even presented participants with their plaques. As a close shot revealed the faulty eye, the Buckingham Palace was silent about the injury, saying she was hale and hearty. Number 15. Prince Harry confirms a dark royal secret. Prince Harry had always doubted the reports of his mother's death. He believed the palace had a sinister motive against her and wanted to eliminate her by all means. He has, in fact, released a letter where Princess Diana allegedly claimed that her husband wanted to plant an accident in her car and that would kill her so he wouldn't marry another wife. Recall that Diana had on several occasions confirmed that the royal family didn't like her. Due to the circumstances surrounding his mother's death, Harry moved out of the palace with his wife Meghan to avoid a repeat of history. Until next time, adios.